Jesus is the truth. Jesus can set you free from sin. Keep his word, keep his commandment in the book of Matthew, John, and Luke. Apply them in your life, and Jesus will reveal himself to you. And he will set you free once for all from your sin, and you will never walk in the darkness. I am not your teacher. Your pastor is not your teacher. Your rabbi is not your teacher. Only Jesus is your teacher. Only him is your teacher. Today, go in your room and pray that Jesus open your eyes. Ask for mercy and go and read his commandments in the book of Matthew, John, and Luke. Before you read them, before you read his commandments, his words, ask him that he give you understanding, so that you can understand his commandments, his words in the book of Matthew, John, and Luke. He will reveal himself to you if you apply his words. Forgive others. Do not stop cursing people. Do not even curse them in your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Pray for your enemies. And there are many more commandments. You can read them in the book of Matthew, John, and Luke. Your teacher, Jesus, can teach you his commandments. Let me read to you a verse. But this is from Matthew 5. It has also been said, whoever divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, brings adultery upon her, and he who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Marrying a divorced woman is adultery. It is living in adultery. Do not, if you are thinking about marrying a divorced woman, do not do it. If you call yourself a Christian and are thinking of marrying a divorced woman, do not do it. Do not do it. That divorced woman belongs to another man. She cannot be your wife. She still belongs to her husband, unless her husband is dead. Do not commit adultery. Do not commit adultery. Jesus will punish you for adultery. Let me read to you an interesting verse. But outside are the dogs, the sorcerers, the sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. Are you going to accept this testimony for the churches? Outside are the sexually immoral. Marrying a divorced woman is adultery. That woman you cannot marry a divorced woman unless her husband is dead. Unless her husband is dead, then you can marry her. But if you marry her when her husband is still alive, you You are committing adultery. It is a sin. And I don't know how you are going to do it. How are you going to explain yourself to Jesus? How are you going to do it? When you knew His commandment, you knew it, but you decided to rebel against Him. Rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. Do not do it. Obey His words. Obey His words. Obey His commandment. Then His word will sanctify you. Read it over again. Read His commandment in the book of Matthew, John, and Luke. Stop wasting your time going to church. Stop wasting your time doing Bible studies. Go on your knees and ask Jesus to give you understanding of His commandment and His words. Jesus is not joking. Do not bring adultery upon yourself. It is sexual immorality. Let me read to you again. But outside are the dogs, the sorcerers, the sexually immoral. Leave those divorced women alone. Leave them. Unless her husband is dead, then you can marry her. Just avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid marrying a divorced woman. It is adultery. It is sexual immorality. He's not going to write you in His book of life if you commit adultery and live in adultery. May Jesus give you understanding and peace. Amen.